Well, I'm here today at the DeBard School with Dr. Maureen Martin, who is director of the DeBard School. Now, the DeBard School has a lot of exciting things going on, but it is a long-time jewel in the Southern Miss Crown. And I wanted to hear a little bit more about what's happening, and what's happening is its 50th anniversary. So, Dr. Martin, in a few words, tell me about the history of the DeBard School.
Well, the history is amazing because Dr. DeBard was brought here when we didn't even have a speech and hearing degree program or a separate department, but there was a university faculty member whose child had lost language and hearing as a result of Asian flu. So Dr. McCain and United Way and some private donors went together to bring her here, and she had an empty classroom and 3 children, and they said they had money for 1 year but made her promise to stay for 2. Things have grown a lot since then.
I would say so. Now, where was she before?
She was a general ed elementary teacher, and she had taught in Jackson and Natchez and Florida and a number of different places, and then she became one of Mississippi's first speech correctionists, as they were called in those days. And ultimately she became nationally certified speech language pathologist, audiologist, and educator of the deaf. She was from Grenada County.
So that was 50 years ago. How have things changed?
Well, I've been here 36 of the 50 years, which doesn't seem possible, but we have changed in growth in terms of numbers of children served, which of course means we can train more university students. In the last 10 years, we've gone from about 15 years, we've gone from about 3.5 staff to about 35. Enormous growth in numbers of children served directly through the full-time enrollment program and out-client services, and much growth in our professional development program as well.
How many children do you serve?
We have 80 children full-time. They come from about 15 counties and about 20 school districts, and then we'll have anywhere from 25 to 40 on out-client therapy.
Help us to understand a couple of things. Now, the DeBard School is a school system, right?
Well, it is, under the Mississippi Code, is a university-based program. We're a public school, we're an extension of public schools.
Located on a university campus.
That's right.
How does this public school, located on a university campus, work with the university?
You know, it's a unique and rich relationship. We're very fortunate to have about 20 school districts that send their children with significant problems to us. But we're also one of 3 clinical programs within the Department of Speech and Hearing Sciences in the College of Health. And so that means that university students who are majoring in speech language pathology, audiology, and deaf education can come here and work side by side, getting 100% supervision and learn from some master professionals. And so it really enriches their degree programs.
Now, other teachers at other places also come and learn here. How does that work?
Well, we, of course, do training in the DeBard Association method, which is the multisensory structured language approach that we teach here. But we also teach it not only to university students working on degrees, but to general ed teachers, speech language pathologists, special educators who want to come and learn these unique techniques and take them back to their own sites. And people actually come from around the country as well as from around the state to learn these techniques, and we also send trainers out across the country to take this methodology to others. We know we can only serve a certain number of children under this roof, but we can reach hundreds or thousands more by training other professionals, so that's very important to us.
Well, the DeBard School has spent 50 years not just making a difference in lives, but making the difference in many lives. And now you are looking to the next 50 years, and you've just launched a $2 million capital campaign.
That's right.
Tell me what that's going to do.
Well, our funding is unique and challenging. We're partly funded through the Mississippi Department of Education, and we're a United Way agency, but it takes a considerable amount of private funding to complement the state funding to make all of this work. And so the capital campaign has as one of its major goals to develop an endowment. We know that we must look to the future. We're 50 years old. We'll always need dollars for current use projects, and needs, but we also need to be looking to the future. One of the things we never want to have happen is to have to close a classroom because we don't have the private dollars to go with the state dollars. If we don't have the children, we can't train as many university students, and so that really affects our mission. So I always tell our visitors this is a great university community public-private partnership that makes all of this work.
True. Well, that's a far-sighted goal and one that we certainly wish you well for and and we hope and we know that you're going to get a lot of support.
Thank you.
You do a lot of good.
Well, it's a privilege.
Thank you. Maureen Martin, the DeBard School.